Welcome to the Childcare Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you're a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Saccoccio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Childcare Director's Chair.
Hey guys, TGIF, it's your girl Erica here with the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. And I have a question for you. What if the next level of your life requires a different version of you? Have you ever looked at someone who opened up multiple childcare centers, became a sought-after speaker, started a successful business, maybe earned an advanced degree, or stepped into a leadership role and you thought, I wish I could do that? What if I told you the biggest difference between where you are today and where you want to be isn't talent? It's not intelligence. It's not connections. Honestly, it's not even experience. It's who you're becoming. Because the truth is, the version of you that got you here isn't necessarily the version of you that will get you there. And that can be a hard truth. As childcare directors, we often are so focused on growing our programs, developing our staff, supporting families, that we forget one of the most important investments that we can make, and that is in ourselves. Yet every new level of leadership demands a new level of growth. And today we're talking about why growth feels so uncomfortable and some of the beliefs that may be holding you back, why investing in yourself matters, how successful leaders continually reinvent themselves, and practical ways that you can begin to step into your next level today. So let's start with one of the biggest mistakes people will make, and that is assuming that discomfort means they're doing something wrong. But in reality, discomfort often means you're growing. And think about the first time you became a director. You probably weren't completely confident, and you definitely didn't have all the answers, and you likely questioned yourself. And you're probably worried about making mistakes, and yet you did it anyway. And over time, you developed those skills. You gained confidence, and you learned through experience. What once felt intimidating to you actually became familiar. Now think about your next goal that you're considering. Maybe you want to open another location. Maybe you want to become an owner. Maybe earn that advanced degree or speak at conferences. Maybe you want to start consulting. Maybe you want to join a board or advocate at the state level. Maybe it's time to lead a bigger organization. And of course, all of those things feel uncomfortable. You've never been there before. So growth requires stepping into environments where you're no longer the expert. And that can be incredibly unsettling. Many leaders spend years avoiding opportunities simply because they don't feel comfortable. Here's the reality, though. The discomfort you're feeling isn't a warning sign. It's actually often evidence that you're stretching beyond your current limits. And every major breakthrough begins with uncertainty. Every successful leader has had moments where they felt unprepared. And every person you admire has walked through discomfort to get to where they are today. You see, the question isn't whether growth can feel uncomfortable. The question is whether you're willing to be uncomfortable long enough to grow. Often the biggest obstacles aren't external, but internal. These are the stories that we tell ourselves. Stories like, I'm not qualified enough. I'm not experienced enough. I'm not educated enough. I'm too old. I'm too young. I don't know enough people. Other people are better than me. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I embarrass myself? The challenge with limiting beliefs is that they often feel true, and they become so familiar that we stop questioning them. Yet, most successful leaders have had these exact same thoughts. The difference is they didn't allow those thoughts to make the decisions for them. One exercise I encourage leaders to do is to write down every reason they believe that they can't achieve a goal. And then ask themselves, is this a fact or is this a fear? And most of the time, it's a fear. And it's fear that's disguised as logic or fear that's disguised as caution. Maybe it's even fear that's disguised as practicality. The leaders who move forward aren't necessarily more confident. They're just simply willing to challenge the beliefs that keep them stuck. Your future may be waiting on the other side of the story that you've been telling yourself for years. Now, one of the patterns I've noticed among successful leaders is that they never stop investing in themselves. They understand that growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens intentionally. And the most effective leaders are constantly learning. They're reading books, they're attending conferences, they're seeking mentorship, they're joining coaching programs, they're networking with people who challenge their thinking. And they're exposing themselves to, guess what? New ideas. Unfortunately, many childcare leaders invest thousands of dollars into their programs while investing little to no money into their own development. Yet you are the greatest asset in your organization. And when you grow, your leadership grows. And when your leadership grows, your team grows. And when your team grows, your program grows. Everything rises and falls on leadership. So let me say this. Investing in yourself isn't selfish. It's strategic. It's one of the highest returns on any investment you will ever make. And the leaders who create extraordinary careers understand that professional development isn't an expense, it's an opportunity. Here's something many people don't understand. They might not even realize it, but the most successful leaders are constantly reinventing themselves. You know, you've heard this lady before, Madonna. They don't stay attached to old versions of who they are. They evolve. They think about their own journey. You weren't always a director, and before that, likely you were a teacher. And before that, maybe you were an assistant teacher. Perhaps you were a mentor, a coach, a trainer, an advocate, an entrepreneur, a speaker. Each stage requires new skills, new perspectives, and new habits, even new levels of confidence. Successful leaders understand that growth requires getting outside and letting go of outdated identities. Sometimes the version of you feels comfortable today, and that can be the very thing that stops you from reaching for that next level. Because we all like comfort. If you're still introducing yourself based on who you were 5 years ago, you may be limiting who you can become 5 years from now. You see, reinvention isn't about becoming someone else. It's becoming a more fully you, more fully into being capable of what you're doing. It's about expanding your identity to match your vision. And the leaders making the greatest impact aren't asking, who am I today? They're asking, who do I need to become? So how do I actually begin? Well, let's make it practical. Number one is get clear on what you want. Many people know they're unhappy where they are, but they are not sure where they want to go. So take the time and to identify what your next level looks like. What are you working toward? What excites you? What challenge keeps calling your name? You see, clarity creates direction. Step 2 is study people who are already there. Find leaders who have achieved what you're trying to accomplish. Listen to their podcasts, read their books, attend their workshops, observe their habits. Success often leaves clues. And number 3, start before you feel ready. This may be the most important step. You will never feel fully ready. I have a trailblazer who asked us the other day, when do I stop becoming nervous before I speak? And we all kind of giggled and said, never. You're always nervous at first 2 to 3 minutes you're on the stage. But then it goes away. Confidence comes from doing, not from waiting. Apply for that opportunity. Submit that conference proposal. Start that degree. Launch that project. Take that meeting. Make that call. Stop before you're comfortable. Step number 4 is expand your circle. Growth often requires proximity. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, people who inspire you, and people who are pursuing bigger goals. Your environment definitely matters. And step number 5, commit to continuous growth. Don't treat personal development as an event. Treat it as a lifestyle. Read regularly. Attend trainings and be present when you're there. Shut your phone off. Build your confidence speaking, your leadership, your communication skills, and seek feedback. Invest in coaching and continue learning. The leaders who experience the greatest growth are those who never stop growing. So in closing thoughts, I'd like to leave you with this on this beautiful Friday. If there's one thing I hope you take away from today's episode, it's this. Your next level isn't waiting for more confidence or a more confident version of yourself to magically appear. Your next level is created by the choices you make today. Growth will feel uncomfortable. Your beliefs will challenge you. And you need to invest in yourself. You'll need to evolve and reinvent yourself. And you'll need to take action before you actually feel ready. But every leader you admire has walked in the same path. And the question isn't whether you're capable. The question is whether you're willing. Because a future version of you, the one leading at the higher level, making a bigger impact, and achieving goals that seemed out of reach yesterday, they're waiting for you. This is built one courageous decision at a time. So let me leave you with this question. What do you need to become to create the life, the leadership, and impact that you're dreaming about? And more importantly, what's one action you could take this week to begin to become that person? Until next time, keep building your confidence, keep building your speaking, keep building your leadership and communication skills, and keep growing. If you're not sure what the first step might be, I'll tell you this. Head on over to www.childcaredirectorshare.com. Hit that membership button and come join us in the Trailblazer group. It costs you absolutely nothing for your first 30 days. If you don't love it, that's okay. You don't have to stay. But I'm telling you right now, make a move. Have a great day.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Childcare Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Saccoccio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.